So today I will talk about glitching, but in the context of cheating and microtransactions. We can talk about glitches in many different contexts, about humor, fun, but I chose this one because we have quite nice examples in the cases of Dead Space 3 and Mass Effect 3 games. So let's start with a definition, or just try to define what a glitch is. So, to put it simply, glitch is something unexpected, unpredictable. If we want to look at a more elaborate definition, we can take a look at Gorinova and Shulgin's work, which define glitch more precisely, but I would argue that their insistence on faultiness of a glitch doesn't really reflect the way players use this term. So, cutting down from their definition, we can say that a glitch is an unpredictable change in the system's behavior. So, now that we have some basic idea what a glitch is, how does it, what is its role in the context of cheating? Let's move to Gonçalves' book on cheating, and she defines exploit as taking advantage of a glitch. So we know that if we use the glitch to gain some in-game resources and gain advantage, then we can call it an exploit. So going back, we can chart this diagram to give us an idea how can we interpret and reinterpret glitch in the context of cheating. So if we use glitch to gain advantage, we can see it as an exploit. But what if the glitch is not really a glitch, or was it predicted by the developer? Then we can reinterpret it as a feature, and then we have this dichotomy between farming and exploiting, which can take us further to the wider perspective of preferred and aberrant use, based on Hall's and Echo's work on preferred and aberrant reading. Preferred is something that the developers had in mind when they were designing the game. So using a feature to farm in-game resources can be seen as preferred use of a game feature. And on the other hand, exploiting of a glitch is an aberrant use. So let's move to our games. So why did I choose these two games? They are quite recent, from 2012 and 2013 respectively. They both can be labeled as AAA games due to their big budgets and general gaming audience target. They both employ microtransactions. By microtransactions, I mean in-game purchases using real money. And then both have cooperative multiplayer, and as with any game, they contain glitches. But in these cases, these glitches directly interfere with the microtransaction systems. So, before moving to the actual glitches and how they work, let's take a look at justifications of microtransactions. Why do we talk about justifications? If we, for example, looking at Ryan Milner's work on forums, on game trailer forums, there's a general approach from players towards microtransactions is negative. So there's a reason that it's more important to talk about justifications than the critiques, because the critiques are quite apparent. So the general justifications usually are that the microtransactions are optional and time-saving. And in the case of a Mass Effect game, these microtransactions also give player the benefit of free DLC, which, even though it is incentive for further indulgence in microtransactions. So let's take a look at the two glitches which are the center of my work. So the Dead Space 3 infinite item respawn, I would be hesitant to call it a glitch, but let's say it's a system's behavior to player behavior. So if this infinite respawn allows a player to leave a location and then re-enter it and gain and respawn an object in it and harvest resources in this way. What it means is that it interferes with the microtransaction systems, because these microtransactions sell these same resources for money. And the other glitch is the missile glitch from Mass Effect 3, which allows player to use any weapon as a missile launcher pictured on the screen. So it makes the game really easy and makes earning the virtual currency in the game very easy, therefore bypassing the need of spending real money on microtransactions and buying the virtual goods in the game. So while we see there are quite many similarities, the reception of both these glitches among different stakeholders was quite different. So we see the three basic groups of stakeholders: the players, the press, and the developers. So the players, in both cases, the players see those glitches or features, as you want to call them, as exploits. They are using them to gain advantage, or at least they think they're taking advantage. But in the case of Dead Space, some players also think that using this item respawn, just returning back to the location and gaining more resources, is a way of farming, and it's legitimate because these same mechanics were present in the two previous entries in the Dead Space franchise. In the Mass Effect case, some players also use exploits because they are frustrated by the fact that the microtransaction system is giving them not that good equipment as they would like, because it's all built around the fact that you are forced or motivated to buy stuff. Then, looking at the press, it's important to know that the Dead Space glitch had received much wider coverage, especially because of the article which BBC ran, which suggested that the use of Dead Space glitch could be a theft. But on the other hand, other articles framed this same activity, this using of this glitch, as activism aimed against the microtransactions. There was only one article concerning the Mass Effect glitch, and it only talked about being patched, and that is a good thing for the community and for the multiplayer. And there was also very different response from the developers. Well, in the Dead Space case, after the whole BBC article, they cleared it up and said that this item respawn is in fact a feature which some of the players were already suggesting. And in the case of Mass Effect, they banned the players who were using the missile glitch exploit. So, going back to the diagram from the beginning, if we try to put it on these two cases, we see that in case of Dead Space 3, there was this item respawn thing which was first labeled as glitch, and then some players and the developer, Visceral Games, called it a feature, and saying that using such a glitch or such feature is legitimate. Therefore, it would be farming, not exploiting. But not all the stakeholders were content with this, and some part of the press and some part of the players were reinterpreting the feature back as a glitch, and they were criticizing EA's approach, just saying you can just say it's a feature, not a bug. It was a bug because it's unrealistic for us, just respawning items in a room where you have been before. If we take a look at Mass Effect, it was much more clear. There was a missile glitch. No one argued that it was not an exploit, and the reaction from the developer was banned. So the overlying question is, who defines the glitch? Which group really has the power to say what is a glitch and what is not? The answer is, it is a negotiation, and in the case of Dead Space, we've seen that sometimes the groups are really deaf to each other. And if we would like to see maybe the basic difference, why in one case the similar feature or glitch was seen as exploit and in the other as farming, we can say that the EA's reputation over the years has labeled them as a evil corporation, and even like going towards the players, announcing that something that they want to use to bypass the microtransactions is allowed. The players didn't really believe this line of argumentation. So, thank you for your attention.